Hello everybody, it's the 3rd of August 2015, it's Dan here from Essex, United Kingdom. Now, quite nice and warm today, it's about 24-25 degrees. The temperatures in late July were far below average, which for many things in the garden it didn't do any favours, but that's okay, it seems to have recovered now. So I thought it was a nice day for a little bit of repotting. Now, repotting ideally should be done in winter with apple trees when the trees are dormant, but as long as you take care, you can do them in the summer. So what I have here, this is a tree. Now it has 2 grafts on it. It's on MM106 rootstock, which is otherwise known as a half standard, so this should be a decent sized tree one day. Now this here, this is Pendu Plat. I grafted this late spring this year, 2015, and you can see a little bit of green on there, so it's definitely taken. Not much growth, but that's okay because it'll establish this year, and next year it should continue to grow on from there. So that's good. And this one here is Winter King. Now, Winter King is a long-keeping apple. It's certainly an apple that's of great interest to me because I believe we need to get back into keeping our own fruit and veg as much as possible because we can't always rely on the advent of refrigeration and things like that always being there. So I think we need to start to learn, at least revisit ideas of the past. So that's Winter King, and this is Pendu Plat. Pendu Plat believed to be the oldest apple in cultivation. So in my opinion, they're 2 very good varieties to have on one tree. So the oldest known apple in cultivation and a long keeping apple. So to me, there's quite a lot of interest here. Now I want to keep this tree. I can't put it in the ground yet because I don't actually have anywhere to put it. But that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I need to repot it. So because it needs to be in this pot, it might be in this pot a few years, and the tree of course needs to get all of its nutrients from the growing medium you've got in the pot. So what I have here is a 35 litre bucket. I like these because you've got the handles here, it's easy to move them around, and in that I have got a mixture of calcified seaweed, well rotted horse manure, and some tiger worm homemade compost. Now that's a good compost to learn how to make yourself. It's not particularly difficult. You can buy the tiger worms off of the internet. Just with a little bit of research, it's definitely a good thing because it's a great sustainable way to have your own compost, and also easier than going down the shop and buying a bag because you can put you can put all sorts in there. But to check out the video that I uploaded a few days ago, and you can see what I've done there. So in here we've got tiger worm compost, we've got some calcified seaweed, and a little bit of well rotted horse manure. So this is a very good growing medium, very good indeed. Of course you're going to need your tree, and you're going to need a little bit of extra compost as well. So this is again homemade. Most of this has come out of the compost heap, and it's also been enriched with well rotted horse manure, a little bit of composted leaves, and some straw as well. So this should be good. It'll be good for holding water and give the tree plenty of nutrients to put out some strong growth, which is definitely what I want. So what I have to do is, in order to loosen this up, a good thing to do is to hit it like this. Now I've done this a little bit before I started the video, so hit it like this to loosen it up. And also what you want to do is you want to water it as well. About 15-20 minutes ago I watered this because you want to have it watered because you want to avoid stressing the tree as much as possible. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just show you what we've got here. So you can see that's the growing medium there, and you can see that's the tree, and this is my other spare bit of compost that I've got. So what I'm going to do is to just gently lift this tree out and proceed to put it. You want to make sure you don't damage it at all, the root ball, and proceed to put it in there like that and press it down. You want to be quite relatively firm and push it down like this. Okay. So that's your tree there. So of course what you've got now, because this pot is substantially bigger than this one, you've got this void around the edge. So this is why I have got my other compost here. And what you want to do is proceed to then fill it up around the edges, like this. You want to take out the air pockets, trees don't like those. And of course this is extra room for it to grow. Because MM106 being a half standard rootstock, it is a decent sized tree, and it needs as much as possible space. As I said, ideally this would go in the ground, but there's nowhere to put it yet. But the time will come, so I need to make sure I look after the tree properly until then. Grafting trees is definitely a good thing to get into, because this tree here, the rootstock cost me £4, and because of the generosity of Stephen Hayes on the Fruitwise channel, you must check his channel out. He sent me these scions for free. All he asked for, if you can, is a donation to a particular charity, and then that's not compulsory, that's only if you're able. And so basically £4 for the rootstock. It might have even been less than that. I got that from Blackmore Nurseries. May have been around £2.50 even, but I've got 2 varieties on that. Of course, buying a tree with varieties on is much quicker, an established tree, but that's not always possible, and I think you'd be quite unlikely nowadays to get Winter King and Court Pendu Plat on the same tree. That's why I've done it myself. So there we go. Now that is it. That's, I'm going to firm it down like this. That's finished now, so this should be able to stay in this pot for hopefully another year or 2. Of course it needs to be watered, but because of the nice amount of organic matter in this, it's able to keep itself well hydrated. And what you want to do also is you want to water it in, a whole watering can if possible. So let's have a closer look at that. So you can see it's there, and 35 litre tub, so it should be able to grow well. And I'm hoping this is going to put out some nice strong leafy growth, and hopefully within the next 4 or 5 years will give me some good crops of apples. Okay, well I hope you've enjoyed that video. If there's any questions or anything, please feel free to ask. But as I said, check out the Stephen Hayes channel, learn about grafting. I have some videos of that on my channel as well, and there's many videos on the internet on that one. Learn about budding, learn about grafting, learn about sort of maintaining your own trees. There certainly is a good value in it, because to purchase organic apples it is quite expensive, and in the UK here we have more or less the perfect climate for apple growing, or at least certain varieties of apple growing anyway, and it's a shame to not take advantage of that, and you can do that in a pot. Okay, speak soon.